Thanks very much for showing up. We aren't quite finished with the project, just in case you were wondering. There is a punch list, but since snow is just about ready to show up and we're going to need this building, I wanted to make sure we got it dedicated before we got to that point. So if I could, I'd like to introduce the council that is here. Tony's here. Raise your hand up. That's how you want to do it. Daryl is here. Stephen is here. Kent is here. I'm here. But this was a joint effort with Hennepin County gave us some money, and whenever I need any help at Hennepin County, I always call my good friend Jan Callison, or as we are supposed to say, Commissioner Callison. So if you would, Jan, I'd like to have you come up and say hi to my friends and neighbors. Like karaoke, if you hold it wrong, it doesn't work.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon. I was recalling as I was trying to find my way to this park that I knew how to get here because my children, I live at 7 and 101 Minnetonka, my children used to play here sometimes, and we had team picnics and things at Thorpe. So I'm pleased to be here not just as a commissioner but also as a neighbor. And I celebrate with you this wonderful building and the work that's been done. We started a youth sports program in Hennepin County about 10 years ago, and if you're not familiar with it, we take money from the sales tax for the Twin Stadium, and we can use it for libraries. We've extended hours in our libraries, and we can use it to support youth activities in our communities. And so we've built, or helped build warming houses, fields, lights, provided equipment, done a variety of things. And it's a very competitive process because there's lots of needs in these communities for this sort of support. And so when we look at projects, we look at the impact on people. We look at whether or not the community supports the project. We look at whether or not it's sustainable. Will it still be around in 10 years? And what's the environmental impact? And this project clicked all those boxes. And you can see why. Because it's a wonderful project.
Good job.
The ADA accessibility in the bathrooms, the warming house, the field, the access to water, everything we'd want a project to be. So I'm really here just to congratulate the community for having the vision and the knowledge to make this happen, and to thank you for partnering with Hennepin County. This is one of the things that I think we do best, which is support the local vision for your community. So thank you, congratulations, and best wishes.
I love you. We'll have you back up here as we get ready to do the ribbon. One of the people, I work with a really good council. Everybody's had input on this project. Everybody's figured out various things, but the guy that really did a lot of the carrying of the water in the beginning was Tony Jewett, and I think it's only fair that he gets to stand up here and explain to you what this is supposed to be and how close we got to it, if you want to, Tony. He'll be standing right here.
Thank you. I just wrote down a couple of interesting points here, but thanks for braving the cold. And just remembering back to 2 years ago, there was a little bit of a dwindling appetite of teams wanting to practice here at Thorpe Park. There was pent-up demand for real bathrooms and a stockpile of money in the Parks and Rec Fund. Now fast forward to today, and we'll have youth hockey teams clamoring for practice ice this winter, a set of year-round bathrooms, and a depleted fund for the Parks and Recs. However, while we dug deep in our own pocket, this project really wouldn't have been possible without the grant we received from the Hennepin Youth Sports Program and the Minnesota Amateur Sports Commission. This program was the catalyst for rejuvenating a major portion of our outdoor sports facilities here in Deep Haven. With that, I'd just like to thank and extend my sincere gratitude to the following organizations and the people that helped get this project going. Mark Erickson and Todd Johnson with the Minnesota Amateur Sports Commission for their commitment and to improving athletic facilities and recreational facilities around the Twin Cities and Hennepin County. And of course, Jan Callison, our commissioner of Hennepin County, overseeing the Hennepin Youth Sports Program, and which is responsible for the grant. Jenny Bordica with the Minnetonka Community Ed for her letter of support for this project. Hans Larson, right here on behalf of Tonka United, and for writing a letter of support. also a retired member of the Park Committee. And Ryan Treble is also here on behalf of the Minnetonka Youth Hockey Association for sending a letter of support and his unwavering commitment to his neighborhood and making sure we have smooth ice. Lastly, but certainly not least, the Deep Haven hockey moms who will instill in all of those around them that good enough is just not good enough. I love their passion, and in full disclosure, I'm married to one. So thank you for all coming out today, and bring on winter.
So Tony says one of the things we need is a lot more outlets in the building. And trying to be hip, I said, is that so the kids can have their phones charged so they'll be able to call for a ride home? So no, that's for the hockey moms that want enough room for crock pots and parties in here. So when you get inside and you look around, if there aren't enough, call Tony, because that's as many as we could get in here. Patrick Reagan is chairman of the Park Committee, and when the Park Committee put together a group of questions and got a consultant and tried to find out what it was that people wanted in Deep Haven, I understand that number one on the list was bathrooms in Thorpe Park. And that's kind of how it got started. But Patrick, if you take just a second, please.
Hi there, I'm Patrick, and as Paul was saying, about in 2014 and 13 we engaged in a master plan study for the parks, and we had a series of surveys and workshops with the community, and really the number one, or one of the top three requests from the community was to have bathrooms at Thorpe Park and at more of the parks, but this being, Thorpe Park being the sort of our crown jewel of the park system, you know, this was really the most appropriate place to have that park, the bathrooms in a park. And I think that what that really does for the park is it really makes it a four-season park. So in the springtime we have baseball, or kids are at the children's park, or for 4th of July, or of course during hockey. Now with the bathrooms and a new warming house, this really can be a four-season park, and it's more accessible to the community. So I think it's really an asset, and I think that it's a great new facility, so really families can use the park, you know, all year round. So we're really grateful to Jan and everyone who worked on this project. So I'm really excited to see it in use.
Thanks, Patrick. I want to thank a couple of people, and then I want to ask everybody that was involved so far that we stand behind this ribbon and actually cut the ribbon. But some of you probably have heard me say this before, but I've always felt if you don't know how to say thank you, you got no business asking please. It's the way I've lived my life. So Kathleen, I would like to have you get recognition for the fact that when Kent and I looked at the drawings that we got from the Streeter group, she says, I've heard about you. I know that whatever we've got here needs to be trimmed down. I get that already. And we sat down, I think, on 3 different occasions to make sure that the design was going to have function, it was going to look right, but that we didn't put more in it than we needed. And I do appreciate your work. I really do. I think Stephen Streeter and I chatted, and he said, well, of course we'll help you. We'll get that drawn up for you. And that's where it got started. And he's off playing hockey. Well, his kid's playing hockey, I guess. I think Griffin's playing and Steve claps. But so he couldn't make it. But Kevin, there he is. He made sure. I appreciate the work that your company does in town. I appreciate you being residents. It's beautiful. People have told me that when we finally get the pavement back down here, this is going to look like it's been here for 50 years because it fits in, and I think you've done a hell of a job. Thank you. Representative from the Boyer family here, because the Boyers are putting in the benches that are inside. We've talked to them. I've already got people that think, well, if you think this is big, wait till we get done putting the deck on the north side and the deck on this side. I need a little money for that, but we're going to move forward on that part of the project too. I think that's good. I need to thank John Menzel. Where is he? Right here. There he is. John's the supervisor of our Public Works Department, and so sometimes you people see him at 2 in the morning when you've got a plumbing problem. Sometimes you see them up here when we're mowing grass, but it's John and his crew that put this stuff together, and we would not be in the shape that we're in if it weren't for John and his crew. They organize everything from the guy that's coming in with the 24-inch pipe that's going to fix this ditch so everything drains right, to making sure the asphalt's back on, everything. And that's just what he does at this park. And the other 12 hours that he spends working for us, you can see his work the rest of the town. But John, I appreciate it very much. I think the star of the show would be Brandon. Where are you? Come on over here, my friend. You won't recognize him. He doesn't have his tool belt on, but this is the gentleman that built the building. Well, or told the guys to build the building. And I wanted you first to put a face with the name, and secondly, brag a couple minutes about what you got done here.
Well, first of all, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, City Council, Building Committee. It's been an honor and a privilege working with all of you. We bid this project a year ago in October and broke ground around May 1st. We had a few challenges along the way, weather-related and soil-related, but all in all, it's come together pretty darn well, I'd say. A couple more weeks, we'll have the punch list items all complete, and it'll be ready for service. So thank you again, Mr. Mayor, City of Deep Haven, and everybody. It's been an honor to be a part of this project. Thank you.
Could I ask everybody whose name has been mentioned here to get in behind this ribbon, because we're going to cut this ribbon, and then the bathrooms do work, and so don't be bashful, and we aren't going to break for commercials, so just slide in here, okay? Stevie, John. Huh? Dana? Who's missing?
Bill.
Huh?
Your architect and your draftsperson.
I didn't. I'm looking into the sun. Please.
They're shy. They don't want to come in.
They don't want to. Come on, you can wear the glasses. We're going to let you wear the glasses. Take this to a budget.
Can I have that when you're done?
That's our team. We couldn't have been luckier. If you hold your hands out on this ribbon, we're going to cut a piece of this for each one of you. And when we get done with that, the cookies and everything are inside. The bathrooms are around the corner. It's not a his and hers. It's a bathroom number 1 and bathroom number 2. So for those of you who get yelled at, you can perform either function regardless of the number. That's correct. So just remember, the person that's going to use it behind you might appreciate the condition you leave it in. With that being said, it's our goal to have them available 24/7. It isn't just for hockey, and it isn't just for baseball. It's for the people that are just walking through the park or having a picnic or a birthday party or whatever. So we're going to keep them open for as many hours as you promised to help us keep them clean. I guess that's the way my dad would have said it. So. Dad, we're good. You gotta see me on the revenue side. Huh?
Turn around again, Paul.
You've got our attention, buddy. Well, of course it's stop at Daryl's. I know it's expensive to ribbon.
Okay, hold up your ribbon slices. Smiling.
There. All right, let's go inside and take a look around.